friends, and welcome to another Fude Beauty video. Today we'll be featuring the newer sets from Houkodou. I actually featured Houkodou a few years back on my channel, specifically the Nagi and Sora series, and we have sets from both collections to share today. And there's also the Ritsu set that I do not have, but it might still be available on fudebeauty.com. It's one of the more limited sets, but the Fude Beauty team was nice enough to send me the Nagi Eye Set series as well as the Sora series. The Nagi series with the blue handles actually inspired by Umi no Hi, Ocean Day, that was on July 17th, a day which celebrates the ocean and the importance of the ocean in Japanese life and culture. And I could definitely attest to that to watching all the anime that I do. Just the beautiful landscaping, especially in 90s style anime, my gosh, the vibe that 90s art style conveys when displaying the ocean. I know. So first we have the Nagi Series 3 brush set in A4. This handy set of eye brushes with vibrant blue handles have been designed for ease of use and aesthetic appeal. And I have B-roll here to share, so let's start off with the eyeshadow brush NS1. This is all made with horsehair and can be used for a range of eye tasks as well as nose contouring. I love me a slanted shader eyeshadow brush. It's medium density, medium to light density, I would say. Fantastic pickup, and my apologies, I failed to write down the notes of my B-roll, but I believe I used this with my beloved Izumaya Industrial 2.0 palette, where I used one of the duochrome shades. And I think horsehair has an advantage where it has impeccable pickup of the product, but also a nice blend, a nice robust blend, right? So the product will move well across the skin, and you could also use the slanted edge that's quite fluffy to take product through the crease where you wouldn't need another brush for that blending task. And the reason why I adore not only the shorter handle, you can hold it closer to your eyes, but I think this brush is also soft enough to bring color on the lower lash line. And I think I use this one brush for the majority of my eye look. I probably took, I think it was Carbon on the outer portion of my lid, and I might have dipped out and used the pencil brush, also from the Nagi series, not included in this actual brush set, but I had to share because the Nagi series is fantastic from Houkodou, but I wanted to showcase how versatile one eye brush can be, and that's something I personally experienced when using Fude. How the brush is designed, I think, is essential, where it encourages the user to just use that one brush and refine the technique rather than having to rely on so many tools for just one eye look. So I use the NS1 for the majority of my eyeshadow application, and then I went in with the shadow liner brush in NS3. This is also made with horsehair and designed for precise application for either eyeshadows or liners. Now this is much wider than some other shadow liner brushes you have seen, and the advantage I think the width has is you basically have a wider surface area where you place the brush on the lash line, and I just think it makes it quite quick in terms of applying shadow along the lash line, stamping it here, also on the lower lash line. You could also carve some shadow here on the inner lid portion of your eye. It is on the stiffer side, so I wouldn't use this for blending purposes. It's more so for intensity application tasks, again lining, also using this to refine the blend if you wish to apply a pencil liner along your lash line, and also to place some shadow here on the brow bone area. Because it's short and wide, the application will be nice and precise here where the brow bone won't be overwhelmed with product. And lastly, we have the eyebrow brush in NB1. This is also made with horsehair, and if you like a softer brow look, I personally use pencil. I use pencils today, and I used pencil during the demo, so my apologies. But if you want a softer brow look, this is the way to go. Much stiffer, but it has nice movement where you can use it to carefully apply powder here on the front of your brow, but also to lightly dust brow powder here on the base and to get a nice tail there, right? So depending on how you wish your brows to appear, more bold, softer. I like a pencil because it's just easier, but I do like brushes in terms of softening the look of brows and also manipulating the hair in a way that could make it look more, what's the word? Fluffy. I actually have my Suku brow powder here. Yeah, so I could just quickly demonstrate what this could look like. So I'm taking the powder, and because of the brush's stiffness, but is also soft, pulling the powder through the brows, and I'm using the width to punch in more color at once. Yes? So instead of placing the brush head on this way, I'm using the width to apply more product. You could also use it to address the bold spots, if you will, of your brows. And I think that's going to give you some color, but it's also going to give you a little bit of fluff. I could wipe the brush, and this Suku palette in particular has the lighter shadow. I could take some here and then carve right under the brows. So instead of using a cream product, I could use the flat edge of this brush to not only clean up the powder application, but to provide a softer dose of highlight, right? If you want that highlight, but you don't want concealer, you don't want it to look as carved, using the highlighter powder is going to allow the cleanup, but it's not going to look as artificially carved. So there you go. I actually use eyebrow brushes more often because sometimes when I'm not wearing eye makeup and I'm just perhaps wearing my mineral makeup and blush, I do want the brow, but I don't want so much brow, you know what I'm saying? So using brow powder just allows a softer look, but it then ties the entire look together where cheeks are on, complexion's on, and the brows are also in the same ride. Now going into the Sora series, and I also spoke about the Sora series a few years ago when I first introduced Houkodou on my channel. This is a set of 3 top-selling brushes from Houkodou from their premium Sora collection. Together, the face brushes, eyeshadow brush, and eyeliner cover a range of face and eye makeup looks. Now, I do have the Houkodou flat gray squirrel brush, again, that I showed a few years back, and I'll also make sure to include my Houkodou video link down below in the description box as well as in a card above. Here we have the face brush GF2. This is all gray squirrel, soft, high grade, natural bristles for that lustrous finish. Oh my goodness. You know how I feel about gray squirrel. I go on and on and on about its impeccable blend and feel silkiness across the skin, but it is a softer bristle. It's not going to have a robust pickup as goat hair, horsehair, pine squirrel, right? You got a longer bristle here, round ferrule, beautiful splay. So if you're looking to set the face quickly, you'll get a nice set. But also what I love about this size is if you're on the go, you don't have room to pack 1,000 brushes. Let's say you applied your loose or pressed powder. Make sure your foundation has set a little bit before you go in with this brush because you don't want the foundation to get on the bristles. It can be quite damaging to gray squirrel. Going into Paradise Venus, I could use this brush despite its size to successfully apply whether it be blush or bronzer. And because Paradise Venus has this beautiful terracotta look to the skin, I'm applying it as I would a bronzer, but the brush itself I think is so soft. It deposits the right amount of color where it gives me that glow, and just look at that smooth blend. Okay, I love this size. I love round brushes, and I love the bristle length. Allows for just beautiful movement and splay across the skin. And then when all is said and done, if you could just carefully wipe it here, whether on a towel or on a tissue, you could finish everything up by giving all products a quick whip around, and you're done. And I believe in the B-roll, I used the GF2 with Mother's Bronze Divinity. I applied this bronzer into the hollows of the cheeks, and again, as I had said before, the round brush head and the bristle length just makes it incredibly easy to apply bronzer or blush through the cheekbones and on the apples of your cheeks. And if you wanted that more diffused look on the center of your face, you can definitely use the GF2 to apply that color on the apples where it doesn't look tight and just too precise on the apples of your cheeks, but more blown out. You know you have that type of blush that you could just like this. Okay, next we have the eyeshadow brush in GS1. This is made with Canadian Squirrel, softer than Pine Squirrel. It has a little bit of feedback, it's a little stiff, but has really nice movement here across the tip. And I actually used this brush to apply Bronze Divinity through my crease before I went in with the Izumaya palette when I used the Nagi series eyeshadow brush. It also says here in the notes that it is a favorite amongst repeat customers and can be also used as a highlighter brush for smaller areas of the face, which you could probably already assume since the brush is big for eyeshadow but great for pinpointing highlight here on the center of the cheekbone. So I have an oldie but a goodie. Look at this, the Becca Royal Glow. Do you all remember this palette? Oh my gosh. If I just lightly tap it here, that's going to offer a more precise application if you don't wish to have it all over your cheekbones. You could also place it here along the brow bone, and because of the brush tip, you could just get it where it needs to go and not overwhelm the skin. You could also take it here on the nose. I haven't done this in a while, my goodness. And if you want it, you could take, if I had Bronze Divinity, pull it down the sides of your nose, under the lip. You could tap powder here on the lower inner part of your eye. So you could do a ton with this size brush. I have a few that resemble this size and bristle type. And again, it's so versatile in terms of eyeshadow tasks, of course, but the complexion task, especially if you don't wear a lot of highlighter, but you just need a little bit right here, okay? But I also rely on this brush size to just throw on some bronzer or something like Paradise Venus through my eye crease. And also the width of the brush takes over my entire lid, so it makes it incredibly simple for one and done eyeshadow looks. Not only can I bring it across the lid, but I could whip the brush tip through the crease. It just has beautiful movement here through the crease. I could swirl and twirl to blur out the edges and then take the edge of the brush under your lash line. It is a little big for the inner corner, but you just have to place color here right at the tip, right here. However, we are lucky that we have the shadow liner brush, the GS4, included in this kit. It is made with KINKYSWEAT. KINKYSWEAT is premium grade, okay? Fine, resilient bristles allow you to apply product with precision. So you've already covered the majority of your eyeshadow tasks with the GS1. Then you have the GS4. There you go, inner corner, tap down for those highlighting tasks, tighter to the lash line, either lower or upper, if you want a little more shadow there for intensity. Again, it's just nice to know, okay? I could just bring these three brushes along for the ride. And you're like, that is not enough. Well, I have been a little more minimalist in terms of my makeup routine, especially if you find yourself, like, let's say, vacation, right? Even if you have an event to go to, I think you could apply beautiful makeup that's event worthy with these three brushes. Sure, you might have to bring along a foundation type of a brush. Okay, for your foundation and concealer, fine. But look, you got this brush to set under the eyes. Check. You got this brush to set. Fantastic. Let's say you have the eyeshadow brush set, the Nagi series. So you have your brow brush to take care of the brows. Check. If you wanted more precise work on the lid, outer lid, you got the Nagi series eyeshadow brush. But if I were just going to stick to this set, okay, just to make a point. Loose powder, fine. Blush, great. Bronzer, fantastic. Even contour, just apply it on the edge here, right? You don't need a ton, just get it right in the hollows. You're good to go. Then you have your smaller eyeshadow brush to tap down some highlight here on the cheekbones, nose, brow bone, what have you. And then you have your shadow liner brush for precision work, intensity work, lash line, lower lash line, highlighter on the inner corner. I'm telling you, man, I truly think having less challenges the user to hone in on their technique and just think outside the box. Just don't worry about having to use 1,000 brushes for an entire makeup look. And also, I think just being more simple in how many products you use and truly relying on these tools to deliver is what's going to help achieve a beautiful look that's classic, sophisticated, soft, but you could also bring on that intensity 100%. I think it's all about the type of product that you use, the application technique, but you most certainly, especially again, if it's like vacation and you don't even have an event to go to and you're just kind of throwing on something to pull your complexion together so you don't look, you know, uneven and whatever, you just need these. You just need these. And I would even argue here, this is from the Nagi series as well. I love this cheek brush. I believe this is a goat and squirrel hair blend from Houkodou. Are you kidding me? The brush head size makes it just versatile beyond belief. Loose pressed powder, blush highlight, bronzer, blush, even highlight here if you wanted. And then I have these smaller brushes here for the eyes, so you could cover a lot more eye tasks here if I just added the pencil brush, because we got these three separated in the set, and then I threw in the cheek brush. Then you're good to go. But I'm happy that Fude Beauty is showcasing these sets because, again, from a more practical standpoint, if you look at these sets and you're like, what can I possibly do with just 3 brushes? You could do a lot, especially the quality is there, the craftsmanship is there. It just opens the door. It rolls out the carpet for you to help practice your technique and to also approach makeup application from a different standpoint, from one, again, that's more simplistic, that truly helps you to appreciate the products that you have and to help create those relationships. I know, we're talking about makeup brushes, I know. To create those relationships between your products and your tools so you can find the most harmonious experience between those items that will yield the best result on your face and will also make great gifts, right? If you don't want to decide which brush to get for your friend who is looking into getting into Fude, you have these curated brush sets from Fude Beauty that will take the thinking out for you. And I think, listen, that'll be the ultimate gateway drug into Fude, because once they use these, they'll understand immediately why they must add to their collection after they received your gift. But as always, a huge thank you to Fude Beauty and Houkodou for being so kind and generous in sending me these brush sets. Let me know down below, fam, if you have any brushes from Houkodou, what you think about them, what you think about sets. Maybe you have someone in mind that you wish to gift this to. I'll see you down in the comments, and until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up or maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I will see you on here again with another review tutorial, brush extravaganza, or perhaps another Fude category brush outlining, I don't know, my favorite crease eyeshadow brush. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.